My name is Caroline Grant. I'm the HR manager for Routeco and I'm also the L&D lead for Routeco and Mayflex. So my role covers leading the HR strategy within Routeco, the operational kind of element of HR, the day-to-day, supporting the team, and also driving the L&D strategy across Routeco and Mayflex. So L&D, that's learning and development, and the idea around that is, I'm going to put my glasses on, do you mind?
No, that's fine.
I'm really passionate about learning and development. For me, that encompasses career progression, succession, seeing people achieving their roles. We have an L&D strategy as well, so we're looking at learning and development being very self-directed. It can be quite prescriptive and kind of mandatory at times, but we really want people to be more self-directed and learning to be a natural state, not a kind of, here's a pathway, here's a program. We want people to go, oh, I'm really interested, I'm going to go away and learn this. So that's the ultimate aim of the L&D strategy. It's to provide people with the opportunity to develop, to achieve career growth and career progression. You can't force learning on people. There are mandatory things that we have to do as part of our business, but you want people to have like a thirst for learning, wanting to do things, learn more things, and I'm really passionate about that. And we've got a lot of people within the business that are really keen on developing themselves and their careers, so I'm happy to support them. Well, I used to work for Deloitte & Touche and I was an admin junior and then moved into an admin supervisor role, and a position came up within HR and I kind of vaguely understood what it would be. I was kind of quite interested. I knew the people within the department, so I applied and I got the position. And I really enjoyed it, like the human interaction, helping people. That was the main thing for me, was helping people. Providing them with answers, providing them with support. And I got a real interest for HR then. And I went on to kind of support 10 offices around the country. So I was the kind of admin coordinator, so to say. But I had my children, so I had a break in career. I'd started my CIPD at that point, but I put it on hold and then I kind of had the break. And the role here came live. I was doing some part-time receptionist just to kind of, have a career of some type. And my best friend who works in purchasing, Zoe, actually said, there's a perfect job for you at Routeco. I've been working there for about a year. It's a really good company. I think you should go for it. And that started it really. So I applied for it and she did a great sales pitch to the previous manager, Debs, and basically said, you need this person. Came for an interview, got the job. And it was a really welcoming environment and I loved it. I loved being on reception. But I also, because I was linked to HR, it kind of restarted that interest in some of the HR activities and they were really keen for the support. So I started doing a kind of part-time HR admin role alongside reception, and it's literally just gone on from there. I've had quite a few roles. So as I said, I started on reception about 16 years ago now as a part-time receptionist. Then I moved into kind of a part-time HR admin role alongside reception, moved full-time into HR as a HR training and admin person. So I was looking after the training function and all the HR admin. I went on to be a HR advisor and I was supported to go through my CIPD, which is quite a difficult qualification, level 7. It was kind of a couple of years of real intense study, but I did that, I achieved that. Then I went into the HR business partner role. It progressed from there. So we were given the opportunity, and it was really, really great within HR to think, well, what do you want what do you want to specialise in? And we all had the chance to write a strategy and objectives of what we wanted, and I created an L&D strategy. And from there, Claire recognised that, and I went into an L&D business partner role, then went into the L&D manager, so I had Leslie reporting into me and we were driving the L&D strategy. And I've recently gone into the HR people manager position alongside the L&D activity as well. That's literally just happened in the last 6 months. So I had quite varied along the same route, but quite varied progression. Yeah, every step of the way I was given development, I was given opportunities within the organisation to develop, I was given role expansion, I was given a team to manage. Yeah, absolutely supported through all of the routes that I've gone through. So yeah, it was great. I would most probably say completing my CIPD. because what it did is it gave me kind of outside knowledge, a good base of research, and it made me think about things a little bit differently. So whereas before I'd be very kind of admin heavy, you know, the day-to-day operational element, it kind of made me think about things from a strategic view. And from that, I've had a few successes as a result of doing my CIPD and things that I've introduced in the business. But yeah, that was a pivotal moment for me to think in a different way. And it was a huge achievement because I did it at the age of 40. So I went back to study after many years being out of education, and I achieved it, and I was very proud of myself for that. Yeah, I'd finished many years ago. I'd done year one of the CIPD, and then I stopped it because of children and a break in career. But it was actually kind of Claire at the time that was saying, you know, we'll support you to do this. And I was really reserved about doing it because I knew it was a massive commitment. Also, my friend encouraged me, you know, you can do this, go for it, what's the worst that can happen? So the people around me were very kind of, you can definitely do this, just give it a go. And that gave me the courage to do it. Like I say, it's a big qualification, so anybody that does it, hats off to them. It's a lot of study, a lot of effort that goes into it, but yeah, that's how it came about. When I walked in, it was the welcome that I got from the receptionist, which was Shirley at the time. Everybody was really friendly. The interview process was really kind of relaxed. I mean, it was professional, but relaxed. I didn't feel under immense pressure. I was allowed to kind of talk about my experience. The building, it was beautiful. Well, it is a beautiful building, lots of space. And everybody that I met along the way was kind of like, oh, hi. And it was really friendly. And I was like, wow, this is a really nice place. I like it. And I was really fortunate because I got into the car park. I made the call to Zoe to say, I've done the interview, and within a couple of hours they offered me the job. So I didn't have to wait. So it was that kind of like very quick progression to offer, which, you know, is really key in recruitment, isn't it? But yeah, it was just the general feel, the friendliness, the people that were here and the people that I met were very welcoming. Yeah, it was lovely. There's been quite a few. My CIPD I've already spoken about. Genuinely, that was for me quite a massive life achievement. And I went on to do the MCIPD, so I kind of did the next qualification up. So I feel thankful for that. There's a few things. I spoke to you about the CIPD and it kind of made me think a little bit more strategically. I created the wellbeing strategy. It came out of the CIPD study. There was a big focus on well-being, and it was kind of like, well, this is something that we maybe need to do a bit more of, and maybe we need to have a strategy in place. And Claire supported me to do that and said, yeah, create one, let's have a look at it together. And that's where that well-being strategy came from. So I was really proud of that. There's been a couple of times, anybody that knows me knows I don't love a presentation. I get quite anxious about a presentation. But I went to the International HR Committee and we launched our new mentoring programme, and I was asked to present amongst the kind of global HR community. This was on a stage with a microphone, and I was really proud that I'd done that. That's a massive achievement for me. Not something I'd like to repeat too quickly, but yeah, it was a massive achievement. So I was very proud of myself for that as well. So there's a couple of the things. But I would say, I think L&D, I'm proud of the strategy that we've got now, and I'm really pleased to see that it's kind of developing and it's more embedded, and learning and development is a really top conversation instead of just an afterthought consideration. So yeah, some of the things that I'm proud of. So one of the biggest challenges I've had is confidence. It's confidence in your own ability to do something, confidence in an area where, you know, you're with kind of senior managers, senior leaders, and confident enough to kind of speak up and have the voice to share what you think. That's been, over time, I think I'm quite a confident individual now, but to start with, I'd be very kind of shy in big group kind of discussions, but I'm actually a very confident person outside of that. So I think confidence in the workplace has been quite a challenge for me, but yeah, I think I've made good inroads with that. For me, it's having somebody behind you supporting you. So, you know, Claire was my manager for 14 years, 15 years, and she'd always give me kind of the confidence to not to speak up, but to have a voice. And I'd maybe talk things through with her, and we'd have a bit of a discussion on, could we reposition it? How could we change that? Is that right? But I think I've just gained confidence over time because I've never had a bad experience. So it's not like anybody's ever made me feel like I can't speak or I can't present in a meeting or I can't share my views. I've never had that. It's kind of an internal thing to balance off. But yeah, I think for me over time it's just doing it, just speaking, presenting, giving it a go, things like this. So this is a really good question. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. We'll see what opportunities come up. You know, things change all the time. If you'd have asked me a couple of years ago if I was going to be the HR manager, I'd have said, no, I'll just be an L&D. So you never know what's around the corner, and sometimes you just have to see what happens and go for it. So yeah, I can't answer that. Who knows? I could be on a beach as a lottery winner somewhere. You can cut that out. So you don't have to kind of have the next step up. Your role can expand and take on new responsibilities. I think we're really good at that here. I think we're good at looking at somebody and recognising that they've got the potential to do more, and whether it's internal progression or, like you say, it's learning and development, or it's role growth, involvement in a project, you know, some of the key things that we're doing within the business. I think we recognise where there are people in the business that want to get involved, and we give them the opportunity to do that. And it's all a learning experience. So yeah, we're very good at that here. Study earlier. That's what I would say. Most probably just keep going. I think I gave up my CIPD study a number of years ago because of childcare and whatever else was going on in my life. But maybe if I'd have done it then things would have been slightly more advanced now, if that makes sense. Take all the learning opportunities as well. You know, they come, grab them, do them. And I think just don't be scared. Just give it a go. You know, what's the worst that can happen? This is what I say to myself sometimes. What's the worst that can happen in this situation? And then when I realise it's not really that bad, then I'm just like, okay, I'll give it a go. So yeah, that's what I would say. Definitely Claire Lundberg. So like I say, she was my manager for a number of years. And she was always very good at pushing me out of my comfort zone. Whether I wanted it at times or not is a different matter, but she'd always kind of go, it's a really good development opportunity, it's a really good opportunity for you. And she'd always get the kind of resistance from me, like initially, but we'd have a conversation and I'd feel more comfortable, confidence comes in, I'd feel more confident about it, and then I'd just go for it. But yeah, she's really been pivotal in my HR career, always kind of giving me the opportunity to do more, giving me the opportunity to kind of develop and put myself in those situations that I would not have naturally put myself in. So yeah, she's my professional mentor. So I suppose I see the role that I'm in now and the team that I'm in. We obviously have our HR strategy, our strategic objectives. I see us achieving those, looking at process improvements. I think with everything that we do, it's about supporting the business, supporting associates, but it's about making sure that best practice is followed, that we're doing the right thing by everybody, and actually that we are achieving and evolving. So nothing should stay the same. Everything should improve. All processes should improve. We should always be looking to do better. And I think with our HR strategy, every year we look at that. It's about what can we do better? How can we be an easy department to work with? How can we make it easier for our associates? And how can we support the business in an easy way? So yeah, that's kind of where I see the HR role going. I have a great team. I'm going to say this, I'm going to give them a big shout out. They are a fantastic team. They're very talented individuals, and they are always thinking about what can we do next? What could be better? I'm very, very privileged to have them. So yeah, shout out to the team there, big time. Just try everything. That's what I would say to my 18-year-old self. Instead of, I think when you're 18, you have this pressure, this huge pressure that I should know what career I want, I should know what direction I'm going to go in, I should know all the answers. But at 18, you don't. You should just try as many different routes as you want and see what fits. And then if it fits, then make it a career. So that's what I'd say to my 18-year-old self. Try a few different things and see what you really like.